So what is going on YouTube? I wanted to make a new video really piggybacking on the previous video that I made on why I have decided to start investing into Bitcoin as a form of savings and literally not saving in fiat anymore. But I wanted to talk more about the times that we're in right now. I don't think a lot of people really understand the crazy opportunity that we have, the small window that we have within the next 4 to 5 months, in my opinion. All we're waiting is for obviously rate cuts to happen. Obviously, mainstream media to start, paying attention to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin for this thing to really skyrocket, and of course, Bitcoin dominance to flip, for us to make life-changing gains. Now, the title of this video is basically obviously what you're seeing on the screen down below, which is basically the top five the top five biggest wealth opportunities over the last 100 years. And I truthfully believe that we are at number five right now. And if you're watching this video, I need you to take this extremely serious and watch the whole thing, because if you listen to everything that I essentially say, your life can completely 180 within the next 5 to 6 to 8 months. And a lot of people do not realize this because we are at a pinnacle time. We are at a time where a lot of people waste time, they waste money, they waste resources on stupidity when they should be locked in. So I kind of want to get right into the jazz and not waste too much of your guys' beautiful time. And I kind of want to start off with this, guys. And I'm going to make this a little bigger so y'all can see my face. But every so often, we have essential financial wealth shifting opportunities. In 1945 to about 1965, we had the first opportunity. This is where generation comes into play. So this was the opportunity for our grandparents, to really change the route of our generation. But most people watching is your grandparents, my grandparents. They didn't take advantage of this because they didn't understand the window of opportunity. So what was the window of opportunity? So literally, as you guys can see here, post-World War II property boom created a systematic shift in wealth accumulation, profoundly benefiting baby boomer generations, reshaping modern day real estate landscapes. Decades sustained property appreciation allowed boomers to amass substantial equity, fueling economical advantages that widened the generational wealth gap. So what the hell does that even mean in very simple terms? Well, in very simple terms, put it like this, guys. In 1945 to 1965, the average home was looking like this. Literally like this. You were literally paying between $2,000 to $11,000 for property in the United States and of course Canada. And I have my notes written here on my second monitor, and I wrote this: after World War II, returning soldiers, the GI Bill, and a booming economy led massive suburban expansion in the United States and parts of Europe. Now the wealth route: home building, land accumulation and land ownership, and rental properties paid massive dividends for those that paid attention and locked in and took advantage of their wealth opportunity. For example, buying land in California or New York or Miami or Florida in the 50s was extremely lucrative, going back to right now. Because if you really think about it, look at this, guys. The average cost for, I can't even spell, the average cost for a home or a house, my apologies, in Toronto. So the average cost for a home in Toronto is $1.1 million for everything. And for detached homes, you're looking at 1.4. And it's crazy if you think about it. Because what does the average person right now say? Your friends, my friends, your family, my family, what do they say? They say, oh my God, Johnny, I don't think I can ever afford you finish a sentence, a house. Very soon, a lot of people are going to be saying that about number five. So I need you guys to pay very, very close attention, because I'm spending hours researching so I can provide value for everybody watching my YouTube video. Now, number two, between 1950 to 1960 was a stock market and industrial expansion. And why was this so big? It was so big, and I'm gonna put an image out here so you guys can kind of see this. I want you guys to see this. I'm gonna put this here. Why was it so big? Because post-war industrial growth fueled a bullish stock market and strong middle-class investment. So with every like chaotic situation in the world, you must understand that there's massive opportunity for you and me to make some significant money. That's why when there was COVID-19 and everybody was freaking panicking, and I should have been locked in more than I am right now. The ones that took it serious, more, like how I'm taking it serious right now during COVID, are first generation six-figure earners, first generation multiple six-figure earners, first generation seven-figure earners, because they took advantage of their wealth opportunity. Because with post chaos comes great opportunity, because with chaos comes uncertainty in the market. Market retraces, brings us prices that we beg and get on our knees for, no pun intended, no diddy, and literally we see prices rally like crazy. And obviously it says here, long-term investing in blue chip stocks, S&P 500, which you're looking at my screen, and mutual funds would have created generational gains. Early investors in companies like IBM, General Electric, and Coca-Cola saw massive gains in their portfolios. And to put things in perspective for you to understand, someone that invested $100 in 1950, which was probably not your grandparents, and it wasn't my grandparents, because we have to bust our ass to make a living now and try to figure things out. But that's why I'm making this video, so I can help you guys understand the opportunity and window that we have. If you would have put $100 in the S&P 500 in 1950, and your grandparents would have passed that on over to your family, it would have been worth over $355,000, almost $500,000, that we could have used liquid. But most people aren't freaking locked in terms of the opportunity that's in hand. See, again, there's very small windows, and a lot of people need to realize that, if you don't lock in, you are going to miss this, and there's going to be someone in your lineage that's going to be like Johnny with fire, with a freaking vein popping out his neck, that wants to know answers like, why didn't you take advantage of this wealth shift? Why were you such a, quote unquote pussy to invest? Why were you so scared? Not knowing that you saving money and you keeping your dollars in your bank account is just depreciating in value every single time they print money out, which is the Federal Reserve. Your dollar is losing buying power. I talked about this in my previous video. Now, that was still our grandparents' opportunity. So again, our grandparents, and depending on how old your parents are, if they were born in the 60s, they could have took advantage of the stock market boom and the industrial expansion. Our grandparents could have took advantage of the real estate opportunity post World War II in 1945 to 1965. But again, most people aren't freaking dialed in and locked in. Now let's talk about our parents and maybe our older siblings. See, I was born, going into later in the 90s, but I never had this opportunity because I was an infant, I was a kid, so I didn't take advantage of this opportunity. But during 1990, or not even 1990, like between 1995 to 2000, it was a dot-com bubble. It was the internet expansion. This is when basically the internet basically became a thing. And if you guys just so you guys understand this analogy, I'm pretty sure everyone here in this video knows who this guy is right here, Gary V, Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. So this guy right here, let's pop a big nice photo of him, right? So Mr. Gary V, the guy above me right here. I don't know if a lot of you guys understand how he got wealthy, but in the early 2000s, right? Let's put this here, Gary V, 2000 wine library. So in the early 2000s, my guy Gary V was making YouTube review videos, trying to expand his father's business from brick and mortar, struggling to basically digitally. And he became the first unofficial e-commerce store that was distributing wine across the United States. And that's why Mr. Gary Vee became a marketing mogul and a guru in the space, and he completely 180 his generation's life. Because why? Because Homeboy took advantage of the dot-com bubble. And why was this so big? Because the rise of the internet created new markets, new startups. It reshaped the world. Cryptocurrency, wealth with the opportunity with wealth in that scope was early investments into tech stocks or founding startups made generational wealth. I'm talking about early employees at Amazon, at eBay, Yahoo, Google, early investors in these companies as well, Apple as well, are sitting on generational wealth. People that got involved in YouTube during this time, like Kai Cenat, like this guy right here, Kai Cenat, this guy right here, he got involved in YouTube in the early 2000s. He completely 180 his situation, one of the highest paid streamers right now. Even this guy right here, right? Let's look at him, dude. Dennis. What did all of these guys do? They started in YouTube in the early 2000s, and I can go on, guys. Like I can literally go on like nonstop. Phantom, another example. How did Phantom blow up? Part of AMP. He got involved in the internet boom, the dot-com bubble during the early 2000s when nobody was getting involved in something called YouTube. And it's such a crazy thing, guys, because like I said, I can really just keep going on and on and on. And a lot of people don't realize how easy it is to make it when you understand the generational opportunity in your era. Now, obviously, that this era passed. This was our older siblings. If you're watching this video and you're in your 40s, this could have been your opportunity, but you missed it, which is okay, because sometimes missing opportunities is not the end all be all. It simply just means that you, my friend, you weren't ready. Like during the last crypto cycle, I made some significant gains in my life, but I ended up I don't want to say depreciating because it didn't really depreciate in value. I ended up wasting all of my gains because I wasn't ready for that type of money, and it was a significant amount that I made. But like I said, if you're watching this video and your grandparents or you yourself, you're a little older, you missed the real estate boom, you missed the stock market boom, the industrial expansion, you missed the dot-com and the internet boom, the YouTube boom in the early 2000s. It's nothing to be ashamed of, ashamed of, because it happens, and you just, my friend, weren't ready. Now, the big one that happened over the last decade was a China in manufacture and globalization boom. This is like basically companies like Alibaba, Chinese real estate. What's the one that just popped up recently? Temu. All of these companies are blowing up, virtually because they are emerging markets, and the wealth opportunity was this: investing in emerging markets, manufacturing goods, put digital online pre-e-commerce opportunities, global supply chains. You made a freaking fortune. This was the opportunity from the year 2000 to 2010. So we're talking like, we're talking mixture of YouTube, e-commerce we're starting to grow a lot there. China was getting very big as a major manufacturer, globalization becoming very useful in many aspects in business. And the ones that took advantage during this era were able to completely change the situation. And obviously, during this time, it is what it is. We weren't really tapped into that. Myself personally, I wasn't really tapped into that. I was very focused into my career playing basketball and trying to play professional, which at the moment was my specific goal. But again, like I mentioned before, the ones that did not partake in it simply just either didn't know or weren't ready. Now, the fifth one is very, very important. I need you guys to completely understand what I'm about to tell you right now. The fifth one right now, from the year 2010 to present date, is going to be cryptocurrency, AI, and digital asset revolution. Now, the shift from a long clock to digital clock from cash to Apple to debit card to credit card to Apple Pay, from basically fiat currency to blockchain, crypto tokenization of assets, AI, decentralized finance, DeFi, is massive right now. And the biggest wealth opportunity right now, and obviously Bitcoin was a big one, was investing in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum early, like in the early 2010s, would have created generational wealth for you. Building a digital platform, creating Web3 projects, and adopting token-based ecosystems. Early investors into Bitcoin, NFT creators, smart contract developers have built generational wealth. But this does not mean that it's too late for you. Because right now, right, like you need to understand this. Like, look at this, guys. Amazon and Walmart. Look at this. So a lot of big companies are starting to adopt this. Walmart and Amazon explore stablecoin offering, opening doors for crypto for retail giants. So we're very freaking early. We are in the 2000 states when it comes to the internet with cryptocurrency. So you need to understand that this is getting very, very, very big. A lot of people do not understand. And sometimes I look at people and they say, oh, crypto is too risky. And I just feel like saying, you are so fucking stupid, respectfully. It is the best, Bitcoin specifically is the best performing asset of the last decade. The US dollar has appreciated since what is it called? Since the banking system first came into play, the fractional reserve, I think is what it's called, in 1913, when the year after the Titanic happened, the U.S. dollar has plummeted over 98% of its purchasing power. So basically, $100 or $300 there, or $35 there, sorry, would be worth right now, if it was invested back then, it would be worth over $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. But right now, if you would have saved that specific dollar without spending it, its purchasing power has dropped down to $3.12. Think of how crazy that sounds, which is crazy if you ask me. Another thing that you need to understand is that major banks and institutions are adapting this market. Look at this TD Bank crypto, or TD Bank Bitcoin ETF. Oh, right here. Whoopsie. It's right here. TD Bank's already offering this. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, I look at people, I'm gonna repeat it again. I look at people sometimes and they say, oh, Johnny, like, cryptocurrency is so risky. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just worried about it. And with all due respect, your dumbass, your bank is already involved in it. They're accumulating this as I speak, while you save your $500 every single time you get paid. At the end of the year, you might have whatever the number is. Let's say it's $10,000. You don't even realize this. By 2045, your 10 grand are going to be worth literally a fraction of its purchasing power. So the more fiat you save, the more money you lose. Like, you lose, and it's just mind-boggling when you really think about it. Like, it's crazy when you understand the almost stupidity that people have when they say cryptocurrency is risky. But TD Bank, one of the biggest banks in North America, and because it's a US bank as well, is already adopting this as a service. You can literally create an account. Recently as well, look at this, guys, Crypt XRP ETF, Canada. Canada, right, where I'm from, has already started their crypto ETF for Canadians, which is crazy if you really think about it. Like, they're already allowing individuals to start investing in cryptocurrency ETFs in Canada, making it a normal thing. Like, it's absolutely crazy when you start looking at where we're at. Like look at the S&P 500 has jumped crazy, and I know crypto right now is having a small decline, which is normal. But I had a call with one of my students recently, and I literally told him this. I'm like, bro, you're scared right now because the market is going down, or it's going down a bit. Like, we're down a bit, and you need to realize how early we are. Like, I want to put this shit in perspective for you. Bitcoin right now is trading at $104. Sorry, 100. I wish it was 104. $104,600. Basically 100, basically 105K. Put it at that. Right now, let me pull this down. Right now, pop this right here. On Google Trends, we are trending with little to no interest. It's 21% out of 100, the exact same level that we were during 2022 when we had the FTX collapse. If you don't know what the FTX collapse is, Google it. It was a major event in the cryptocurrency space. We saw a massive application basically go to shit because it was a scam. During that crazy time in crypto, we saw Bitcoin at about $18,000, Solana at 900. Solana, not 900, Ethereum at 900, Solana at $2. We were literally at a very low in terms of interest. We were at 20%. We're at that exact same level right now. Another thing you want to focus on is this. Let me pop this open right here so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. On Google Trends, let's pull this down here. On Google Trends, not Google Trends, X Trends, nobody is talking about cryptocurrency. Nobody. Only one event here should be basically worth speaking about, and that's that war that's happening in Iran and Israel. That should be the only thing that's worth talking. But people here are talking about the Pacers, Game 7, the NBA Finals. Think about how fucked that is. The average person right now watching this video does not have over $10,000 to their name, liquid that they can use, but they're focusing on men play a sport and put a ball in the hoop when they can't even do nothing for themselves if there's an emergency tomorrow. Like, think about how chaotic that sounds. And again, I know it sounds pretty extreme, but you need to realize that no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to help you. No one is coming to really assist you. And, at the end of the day, you can only save yourself. And that's kind of what I kind of want to leave this with, is that like I mentioned here, I'm gonna pull this out here so you guys can kind of see what's going on here on my Telegram. Look at this, guys. I wrote this here a while ago. Our grandparents had the real estate opportunity from 1945 to 1960, where the average price of a home was between $2,000 to $11K. Our parents had the dot-com bubble, as well as our older siblings. The ones that got involved in the internet back then are making generational wealth right now, or they're financially set. It's funny how back then they called the internet a scam and the internet a fraud and a pyramid scheme and X, Y, Z, and D. What are they saying about cryptocurrency now? It being not real, it being a scam, it's scaring you. But guess who is buying consistently? TD Bank. A lot of banks. Like let's go back here. Like, look at this. Look at this. I think I saw this BMO crypto. I think I saw it here recently. BMO Bank. If I can't find it, I'll go on X, because I know it's on X. Look at this shit. This is why I sometimes when people say, like I mentioned, people say, oh my God, like, cryptocurrency, why would I ever buy that? I would never buy that. It's so risky. And little do they know it's the best performing asset over the last decade. Better performing than real estate, better performing than traditional business, better performing than the stock market, better performing than anything out there. And BMO Bank of Montreal, which is one of the biggest banks in Canada, has been quietly accumulating. Why do you think, guys? I'll end it off with this. This is like some simple trading space, like day trading stuff. When price is moving sideways like this, it's institutions slowly buying, getting you bored, getting you not interested, getting you to be like, you know what? Hey, this market's not going to do anything. And when you least expected, when they cut interest rates, when the money printer comes back on, when the US dollar starts devaluating in value and starts going down, this is going to go up like crazy. And we're going to see a 200K Bitcoin. And I can't wait to look back at this video and be like, I told you guys. I can't wait. And if you don't believe me, it's very even this the most uneducated person when it comes to investing can understand this. Look at the patterns. Investing is all about previous things reoccurring again. What happened here with XRP? Another great project. I can't wait to watch the video when XRP is at $45, $45 and above. I believe it will happen. And it will drop jaws. What happened here? From literally July 2023 to November 2024, which is a year and some change, price was doing this, going sideways, not doing much, getting people bored, saying, oh, this coin's shit. It's not going to do anything. It's crap. And out of nowhere, it did a 400%. 418%. I made $10,000 just specifically on XRP. And then from there, I diversified to different projects. Because during this time, I was accumulating like crazy. And I still am. I hold a decent bag of XRP, but because of my investment in XRP, I was able to diversify into different projects. And I'm very grateful for it. But the whole point that I'm trying to say is when price is doing sideways movements, it's institutions slowly buying, catching you asleep. It's like when you're playing basketball, and in basketball, when I used to play college basketball, it used to be called C-man, C-ball, or sorry, C-man, C-ball. So like if you're not guarding the ball handler, you're looking at your guard, but you're also seeing what the ball handler is doing. So if there's an if your defender, if your teammate gets beat, you're there to help, and then from there, your big should be able to step up and help you. It's like a rotation game. Well, if you're just seeing ball and not seeing man, your guy that you're defending is gonna backdoor cut you, and the ball handler is gonna pass it to them, and they're gonna get an easy layup. Or even worse, if we're playing high level, they're gonna alley-oop it, and it's gonna be a two-handed throwdown momentum shift right away. So hopefully, guys, this video brought you some value and some clarity in this market. I am going to re-say it again. Do not take this market lightly. Don't screw around. Like, this is your opportunity. This is my opportunity as well to completely change the path of our generations. And this is where you want to be that guy in your family, that girl in your family to really make it happen. And again, people don't, I'll add something else. Like, a lot of people don't realize that every 4 years there's massive events. There's massive events that's gonna take over the world. Look, AI taking over jobs. Waterloo. Like, I can't even make this shit up. Like, take this shit serious, guys. That's all I'm saying. Take this extremely serious, because in 2008 to 2035, most jobs will be obsolete. Most people will have to get universal basic income, and someone in your family is going to be like, Gerald, whoever's watching this video, Matthew, Anthony, whatever your name is, they're like, yo, why the hell weren't you taking crypto and investing serious in 2025 when institutions were buying, when the government was regulating it, when it was becoming a big thing? This is the only time in history where we're going to get this opportunity, this normality. And I generally feel bad for anybody that doesn't get in. So hopefully, guys, you paid attention. Hopefully, you're investing regularly. And hopefully, you are someone that is not screwing around. And every time you get paid, every time you have fiat currency, you are deploying it into the market so you can buy more of your time. With crypto and Bitcoin and just investing in digital currency, in my humble opinion, you can retire within 15 to 25 years if you're working in a traditional job. If you don't do that, you will work for 65 to 75 years, and you will be 80 years old telling people, welcome to Walmart. No disrespect intended to anybody, but I hope you take this very serious. I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Peace out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with a friend, and take this investing thing serious, because it can absolutely change your life.